Hello, my name is Joseph Marrier, and this is my speech. Here's my audience, my two grandparents, Richard and Lois Nemi, and my mom, Melody Marrier. Today, my speech is about Henry Ford and three advancements that he brought to the auto industry and our world. Do you know how the vehicle you drive every day was built? Chances are it was built using an assembly line, where the vehicle is put on a line, and as it moves down the line, more parts and pieces are assembled onto it until it reaches the end and is a fully assembled vehicle. In this speech, I will tell you more about the assembly line, but more importantly, I will inform you about Henry Ford and three advancements that he brought to the automobile world and our world. These are the assembly line, the Model T, and the 5-day work week. Brief history of Henry. Born July 30th, 1863 in Wayne County, Michigan. His first creation was called the Ford Quadricycle. He worked for Edison Illuminating Company in his early years. He incorporated Ford Motor Company June 16th, 1903, and he introduced the Model T in 1908. He died April 7th, 1947, at age 83 in Dearborn, Michigan. One of the most important things that Henry Ford ever did was help bring about the invention of the assembly line. It was inspired by conveyor belt systems used in grain warehouses around that same time. The first large-scale assembly line was officially working on December 1st, 1913. The Model T was the first car easily built on the assembly line because of its easily interchangeable parts and the availability of parts. Henry wanted to produce a reliable vehicle that the middle class could afford. The Model T was introduced on October 1st, 1908. It was the most affordable car on the market at the time, at only $850. By 1924, the price had dropped all the way to just $260 per car. By 1920, the majority of Americans had learned to drive on the Model T. In 1926, Ford introduced the 5-day, 40-hour work week to his automobile factories. Workers would now work 5 8-hour days that equaled the 40-hour work week. Ford believed that his workers would work harder during the week if they had more leisure time on the weekends. Around that same time, he also raised wages from $2.34 per day to $5 per day, nearly 2 times what the average American worker made at that time. Other business leaders thought that this was a very crazy move by Henry Ford. But in the end, it turned out to be a very smart move for him, because the employees that he had given the raise to came back and invested that money back into the company by buying Ford vehicles for themselves and their families. Now I have informed you about Henry Ford and 3 advancements that he brought to the automobile industry and our world. Henry Ford was a great man who was always looking out for the middle and lower classes of America. He invented and produced a reliable vehicle that they could afford, and also provided many of them with well-paying jobs. I hope next time you hop in your vehicle, you think of how different things may be if there had never been a Henry Ford. Thank you. And here's my audience.